Hey there, fellow travelers. Welcome back to Travel Practical, where we help you make unforgettable memories without all the stress. Today, we're ditching the stuffy art galleries and diving into a world of museums so quirky and hands-on that your kids will actually be excited to visit them. You know that feeling. You're planning a family trip and trying to balance fun with some educational experiences, but the mere mention of a museum has your kids rolling their eyes. Well, what if I told you there are museums out there that your children might actually beg to visit again? These aren't your typical look but don't touch museums. They're interactive, unusual, and guaranteed to create those family vacation moments that you'll laugh about for years to come. Places where learning happens naturally because everyone's having too much fun to notice they're absorbing something new. Before we dive in, I'd love to know, what's the most unusual museum your family has ever visited? Drop it in the comments below. And if you haven't ventured into the world of quirky museums yet, which one from this video would you be most excited to check out with your kids? This is part 1 of our 2-part series on family-friendly unusual museums around the world. Let's explore 5 incredibly weird museums that your whole family will actually love. Our first stop takes us to Beaufort, South Carolina, home of America's only working Kazoo Factory Museum. I can already hear you asking, a whole museum about kazoos? Really? But trust me, this humble little place delivers way more family fun than you might expect. This hands-on museum lets visitors watch real kazoos being made right before their eyes. There's something mesmerizing about seeing the manufacturing process up close. The metal pieces being stamped, the colorful plastic bodies being assembled, all using techniques that haven't changed much in decades. I've seen kids who couldn't care less about how things are made suddenly become completely fascinated watching these simple instruments take shape. But here's where it gets really good. Everyone gets to make their own custom kazoo to take home. You'll select your kazoo body, assemble it with the proper resonator. That's the part that makes the buzzing sound, and voila! You've created a souvenir that actually does something. It's that perfect blend of crafting project and musical instrument that kids absolutely love. The museum also displays hundreds of historic kazoos, including vintage models and novelty designs spanning decades of American pop culture. You'll see everything from Mickey Mouse kazoos to presidential campaign kazoos. Who knew these simple instruments had such a rich history? Imagine your child examining all the different kazoo designs, completely captivated by something so simple. Of course, be prepared for the inevitable impromptu kazoo concerts that might follow in the backseat of your rental car on the way to your next destination. Just a friendly warning from those who've experienced it. Travel practical tip: the Kazoo Factory Museum is perfect for a morning visit, leaving you plenty of time to explore Beaufort's charming waterfront afterward. Tickets are around $10 for adults and $7 for kids, making this an affordable addition to your South Carolina itinerary. And here's a sanity-saving tip from someone who's been there. Maybe establish some kazoo playing zones before everyone tests their new instruments at full volume. From American kazoos, let's jet over to Osaka, Japan, where you'll find a museum dedicated to something your kids, or maybe your college self, probably already love: instant noodles. The CupNoodles Museum celebrates the invention and cultural impact of instant ramen, turning the story of this humble convenience food into an interactive adventure that feels more like a theme park than a museum. The moment you walk in, you know this isn't your typical educational experience. The space is bright, colorful, and designed with both kids and kids at heart in mind. The highlight for most families is the My Cup Noodles Factory, where each person gets to design their own custom cup noodle package from start to finish. First, you'll grab a plain cup that you can decorate with colored markers. I've seen everything from simple drawings to elaborate anime characters created by artistic teens. Once your masterpiece is complete, you move on to the flavor bar, where the real customization begins. You'll choose from different soup bases and add your pick of ingredients from dozens of options. Want chicken broth with corn, cheese, and shrimp? Or maybe a curry base with green onion, egg, and sausage? The combinations are endless and completely up to you. After making your selections, you'll watch as your custom creation is assembled, sealed, and packaged in a special protective container to take home. The pride on kids' faces when they walk away with their personalized cup noodle is absolutely priceless, especially when they realize they can actually eat their creation later. For families with slightly older kids, there's also the Chicken Ramen Factory, where you can make ramen noodles completely from scratch, kneading the dough, rolling it out, and even flash frying it, just like the factory does. It's a hands-on cooking class that gives everyone a new appreciation for what goes into this everyday food. Travel practical tip. This museum gets busy, so book your CupNoodles Factory session in advance through their website. The basic museum entry fee is around 800 yen, about $5.50 USD, with the custom cup noodle experience costing an additional 400 yen, about $2.75. Plan to spend at least 2 to 3 hours here, as kids get completely absorbed in the activities. And yes, there's an excellent gift shop with unique ramen-themed merchandise you won't find anywhere else. Let's head back to the States for our next unusual museum, one dedicated to something most kids try to avoid: cleaning. Tucked away in Pocatello, Idaho, the Museum of Clean transforms the mundane concept of cleanliness into a surprisingly entertaining experience. Spanning 75,000 square feet, that's about 1.5 football fields, this massive facility houses over 6,000 cleaning artifacts, from vacuum cleaners dating back to the 1850s to antique washing machines, toilets, and unusual cleaning tools from around the world. I know what you're thinking. How could cleaning possibly keep kids entertained? The genius of this museum is how interactive it is. Kids can operate hand-powered vacuum cleaners from the early 1900s, explore a giant playhouse with cleaning-themed activities, and even participate in cleaning games that somehow manage to make chores fun. Watching a child get excited about trying a carpet sweeper from the 1920s might be the most surprising thing you'll see on your vacation. One of the highlights is the collection of 250 pre-electric vacuum cleaners, showcasing the incredible ingenuity that went into housekeeping before electricity was common. There's something fascinating about seeing how these everyday tasks evolved over time, and kids are genuinely intrigued by the strange-looking devices their great-grandparents might have used. The museum also includes a Wall of Clean art gallery featuring cleaning-inspired artwork and life-sized environmental displays showing the impact of cleanliness on different ecosystems. It manages to balance serious messages about environmental conservation with lighthearted, hands-on activities. Parents often report their children spending hours exploring every corner of the museum, repeatedly asking, "Can we try that one?" with each new interactive exhibit. Many families notice their kids developing a newfound appreciation for clean spaces, and some even report a sudden surge in willing helpers for household chores after their visit. Travel practical tip: admission runs about $12 for adults and $10 for children, with family packages available. Allow at least 2 hours to explore. Trust me, you'll need it. And here's a fun challenge that keeps kids engaged. Give them a cleaning scavenger hunt by asking them to find the oldest vacuum cleaner, the strangest toilet design, or the cleaning tool they'd most want to try at home. The museum's founder, Don Aslett, is sometimes present and loves to share stories about his collection. If you spot him, don't hesitate to say hello. For our next quirky destination, we're heading to the United Kingdom, where you'll find the unexpected treasure that is the Dog Collar Museum. Nestled within the stunning historic Leeds Castle in Kent, this unique collection showcases 5 centuries of canine accessories, from functional protection to decorative fashion. Now, I know what you're thinking. Dog collars don't exactly scream exciting family destination. But what makes this museum special isn't just the subject matter. It's the surprising window it opens into history through something kids can immediately relate to. their love of animals. The collection includes medieval iron collars designed to protect hunting dogs from wolves and bears. These get an immediate wow from kids who love anything remotely armor-related. Ornate Baroque leather and metal collars from the 17th century, and Victorian-era decorative collars featuring precious metals and elaborate engravings. As you explore the exhibits, you'll discover how these everyday objects tell fascinating stories about the relationship between humans and dogs throughout history. When did people start keeping dogs as pets rather than working animals? How did wealthy people in different eras show off their status through their pets? It's history made accessible through something familiar and relatable. The museum setting is half the experience. Leeds Castle itself is a 900-year-old moated castle, often described as the loveliest castle in the world. After exploring the dog collar collection, families can tour the castle, get lost in the garden maze, watch falconry demonstrations, or enjoy the sprawling grounds with picnic areas and playgrounds. Visitors often remark on how even children who typically get bored in museums become engaged with this unique collection. Young dog lovers are particularly captivated by the evolution of dog care through the centuries, and many are inspired to sketch their own designs for what they think future dog collars might look like. Travel practical tip. The Dog Collar Museum is included with Leeds Castle admission, around £29 for adults, £21 for children 4 to 15, with family tickets available. While this might seem steep, tickets are actually valid for a full year of unlimited visits, making it an excellent value if you're staying in the area for more than a day. Plan to spend a full day exploring both the museum and the castle grounds. Bring a picnic to enjoy on the lawns if weather permits. Our final stop in part 1 of our Quirky museum journey takes us to Austin, Minnesota, not to be confused with Austin, Texas, where you'll find the surprisingly entertaining Spam Museum. Yes, an entire museum dedicated to that famous blue can of meat that's been part of American culture since 1937. This 14,000 square foot museum celebrates everything Spam with a perfect blend of humor, history, and hands-on activities that will have even the most skeptical visitors smiling. Kids love the simulated production line where they can don factory gear and try their hand at packaging Spam cans. Don't worry, no actual meat is involved. There's something hilariously satisfying about watching children concentrate intensely on placing mock Spam loaves into cans at record speed. Beyond the giggles, the museum offers genuinely interesting historical insights. Families learn about Spam's crucial role in feeding soldiers during World War II and its unexpected global popularity. Did you know Spam is considered a gourmet treat in South Korea and is a staple ingredient in many Hawaiian dishes? The international section highlights how this uniquely American product adapted across different cultures, creating a perfect opportunity to discuss global food customs with kids. The museum's lighthearted approach includes Spam puns at every turn. They call their tour guides Spam ambassadors, and colorful displays of vintage advertising. Interactive video screens and games keep kids engaged while parents appreciate the nostalgic look at American food history. It's not uncommon to see teenagers who arrived with eye-rolling reluctance transform into genuine enjoyment as they compete with siblings to see who can Spam faster. By the end of most visits, even initially, unwilling visitors are often spotted browsing the gift shop for Spam-themed souvenirs, proving that a well-designed, quirky museum can win over even the most skeptical visitors. Travel practical tip. Best of all, admission is completely free. Plan about 1 to 2 hours for your visit. If you're making a special trip to Austin for this museum, consider timing your visit during the annual Spam Jam Festival in July, which features cooking competitions, Spam-themed games, and more family-friendly activities. And don't miss the museum gift shop, which offers exclusive Spam merchandise from t-shirts to cooking aprons to Yes, actual spam products in flavors you might not find at your local grocery store. As we wrap up part 1 of our journey through the world's quirkiest family-friendly museums, I hope you're feeling inspired to step off the beaten path on your next trip. These unusual attractions prove that the most memorable travel experiences often come from the most unexpected places. What these museums all have in common isn't just their unusual subject matter, it's their ability to transform everyday objects and concepts into engaging, interactive experiences that spark curiosity across generations. They remind us that education doesn't have to be boring, and that sometimes the best family bonding happens while making kazoos, designing custom cup noodles, or learning about the fascinating history of dog collars. So, which of these unusual museums would your family most want to visit? Let me know in the comments below. And stay tuned for part 2, where we'll explore 5 more incredibly weird museums that your family will love. From a museum dedicated entirely to bananas, to a nostalgic collection of lunchboxes that will have parents reminiscing about their own childhoods. Before you go, don't forget to hit that like button if you enjoyed this tour of family-friendly, unusual museums. Subscribe to Travel Practical for more videos that help you make the most of your travels without all the stress. And hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep your travels practical, memorable, and occasionally a little bit weird.